Hi, everybody. My name is Mr. Dupa. That right there is Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
Hola.
And this other guy is Drunk Dave Romero.
Why don't you ever say my name first?
We can switch it.
Do it
Next
again.
episode.
Whatever.
No, we can't.
You want to switch it? We can
No,
switch it.
do it. Go.
Okay. Today's brew is the Dubious Black Chocolate Stout. He needs like some sexy, like Barry White behind this.
A little slow jam.
Today's brew is the Dubious Black Chocolate Stout from North Peak Brewing Company. It's got a beaver on the front. It looks good. We're going to have a good time tonight because this is the One Beer In podcast.
Lost to be found by someone to save you when you're down. Yes, I'm bored when it's bright out. So bored when it's bright out. 4 to 5 a.m.
All right,
You're here?
let's taste.
Cheers. My.
Well, you gotta give it a
I
second.
know.
Yeah. Second taste.
I'm not a child, Adam. Don't tell me what to do.
That's a stout.
That is,
That is definitely a stout.
I like that.
It's been a while since we had a stout. So it's kind of a fresh taste to me, but I don't want to give it higher praise than it deserves at the same time. Because it's fresh.
What do you think is one of the best stouts? So we have some sort of reference point. Because you're right, it has been a while.
I'd say the milk stout is a good reference point.
I was going to go
It's
with
one
that
of the
too.
best ones I've ever.
The left hand?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's the first one that comes to my head.
Yeah, we really haven't done a lot of stouts. I would say on my scale of stouts, there's Lion Stout.
That's at the
That's at the bottom. And then there's the Magic Hat Diabolically Delicious
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Heart of Darkness.
Yeah,
That's
that
one of
one was
my
really
favorite
good.
stouts.
All right.
I would say this falls somewhere in between there, very close to the Magic Hat, but not too close.
All right.
Like they hang out with each other, but they're not really friends. But he definitely doesn't fuck with Red Lion.
They're acquaintances.
This is it's a cleaner taste. It's cleaner, but it's not as thick, I guess, as I would like it to be for a stout.
Well, when you say nitro stout, it's a different kind of stout.
Right.
I mean, because there's left hand milk stout, and then there's
Right.
left hand milk or nitro milk stout.
So
Right.
would that be the one that's thicker?
Yes, the nitro. That's the one that you can pour hard, like you were trying to do earlier and did not.
We almost
Right.
had an accident here.
Okay.
Yeah. I think with it having the black chocolate name in it too, we kind of had an assumption that, it could go one of two ways.
Yeah.
It could have been very chocolatey.
We also
or-
had the shock top chocolate.
Right, that's a chocolate wheat though.
Yeah.
That was another dark beer though, and then we also had what was the one after that? Crap.
Oh, right, the one that also had a chocolatey taste but not as
yeah,
much.
but it was good though.
Right.
I can't remember.
We're also forgetting Guinness. Where does Guinness fall on the scale itself? Is it one of those ones that's like what we talked about earlier with Budweiser? And
Yes.
is it just one of those mainstream?
It's half
gets
cap.
a quarter
Quarter
cap.
cap.
Gets
Quarter
quarter
cap.
cap.
For simply existing as beer.
I feel bad for saying that though.
I don't know. I
because
think Guinness is better than that. I think
it's a step above that.
yeah.
I mean, well, I see it as Guinness being the Bud Light of stouts.
Isn't that their tagline?
Well, I would say because we're all in agreement that like Dos Equis or Land Shark, they're in that range, but they're a step above. Are we not?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Guinness is in there, just a slight step above. I would still buy it.
Yeah,
I would never place money on a table for Bud Light ever.
Yeah, but there was a guy that I worked with, and he loved Guinness. That was the only beer he drank, and I was like, all right, let me put you on something else that's a little bit better than Guinness. So we went to the bar, ordered him a stout, lost his mind because he thought it was the best beer ever made. So someone who goes from only drinking Guinness actually tries a real stout, it's a huge step for them, especially if they really like stouts, and they don't even know that they're drinking stouts. They think a stout is Guinness because that's the only
Mainstream one there is.
mainstream stout. Yeah.
Right.
So having said that, I don't think that if Guinness was as good as people think it is, it would have garnished that reaction from someone who only drinks it once they try another stout.
Okay.
But I
So
mean,
I think Guinness is good, but not good. I think it's okay.
So let's say if we're still doing the scale, then Lion Stout would be the bottom of the scale.
that's on you guys, because I, for the record, don't hate Lion Stout.
Normal human beings would say Lion Stout was on the bottom of the scale. Guinness would be right in the middle of the scale. No, right?
I didn't say all that.
I mean,
Well, okay, yeah.
Where
if we're
else?
going
I mean,
all right,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
All right, yeah.
So like 3 bottle caps. So
right? Nah, that's
Guinea
maybe
gets a 3.
It was too much.
That's literally middle of the
Yeah,
road.
I know.
I'd say
I'm just
maybe
saying, I think.
2.5. 2.5.
But I haven't had an average stout. We're taking too much time on the fucking stout.
Yeah.
Way too
We're
much.
thinking too hard.
Let's zero in.
This is something
on
we need to do
Dubious.
like
Right.
on paper, off air.
Right.
And mind you too, like the Guinness that we have is not what people call true Guinness. You have to go, overseas to get real Guinness. Apparently the stuff we get's watered down crap.
Well, it tastes watered down, so that
well.
makes sense. I'm just saying. I mean, it tastes watered down, but that doesn't make it like gross,
Right.
Yes, it does.
does it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not gross.
Go
I don't think
water-
it's gross. I just
Water
think,
this down.
we're not gonna get
that's
that
all right.
crazy.
Put some ice in there.
All right. Let's hone in on this.
Okay.
Rate it.
Focus.
4.5 out of 6.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that.
Yeah. 4.5.
All right.
4.5. I was gonna go with a 4 just to give it a different rating, but
Nope.
no.
4.5.
4.5.
4.5 out of 6
Can't be a hipster all the time.
for the Dubious North Peak. It was good.
Yeah.
Good job. Today is episode 11. We've made it into the double digits and beyond. I'm going to stop reminding you guys about that because it's in the title, it's on the website, it's on YouTube. So I'm going to stop reminding you that we're now in double digits. But it still feels really good to have gotten this far.
Yeah.
So let's just jump right in. I don't know if it was today or yesterday. Recently.
I saw it today.
Recently. Very recently. We'll just go with today.
It was today.
The trailer for Interstellar, Christopher Nolan's new film, was released. Not the the teaser trailer, but the actual trailer that actually gives you a little bit of plot points and a little bit of stuff that kind of gives you more of what the fuck is going on in that movie.
Sort of.
So
Well, with Christopher Nolan movies, especially like with his last one, Inception, I didn't know what the hell was going on with any of it until I sat down and watched it.
Right.
yeah.
I really don't care about the trailer. Christopher Nolan's name is on it.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I'm gonna go watch
from
it.
Jump Street, I heard Interstellar, directed by Christopher Nolan. I didn't care who was in it or what it was about. I was gonna go see it.
Right.
So
It could be a Daft Punk movie. I'll go watch it.
I mean, that's just kind of like the strength now that he has created. He's one of those guys, like they say there's like 4 or 5 actors who can sell it. They could do $100 million at the box office just off their name.
Mm-hmm.
Will Smith used to be one of those guys. Tom Hanks used to be one of those guys.
Tom Cruise.
Used
I think
to
he's
be.
still. I think
think
so. Because even the movies that are quote unquote bad, people still went and saw those. Like
Jack Reacher.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure
is that the name of it?
Yeah, that's
let
what
me
it
look
is,
the-
yeah,
Let me
Jack
look the
Reacher.
box office for that up. But
Jack
that,
Reacher Rounder.
the movie with Morgan Freeman, the sci-fi flick he did.
Oh, right.
I'm talking about-
Oblivion.
Yeah.
Oblivion.
RoboCop?
I heard that still did pretty good.
Sorry, Sam Jackson.
So yeah, there's a couple of guys who can do that, and Christopher Nolan now is one of those guys. Just off the strength, I feel like, just off the strength, off word of mouth, just his
Right.
reputation now. It's no longer the guy who made Batman. It's like
Right.
it's Christopher Nolan. Those
Right.
those are Christopher Nolan's films. They're not Batman films. They're Christopher Nolan
Nolan, right.
films. So
They're under his umbrella, not the other way around.
right. Just for the record, Jack Reacher did 218 million.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, Tom
All right.
Cruise is still one of those guys.
They still market him like that, so I
Yeah,
mean, even the
people still go see it.
Edge of Tomorrow, I think, is coming out.
That's going to do numbers.
Such
no
a
doubt
small
about
guy.
He's a very small man, yeah. But yeah, I mean, even off of the director alone, it would have, I think, had some buzz. But you have Matthew McConaughey now on the cast.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
it. One more. Tom Cruise, Oblivion, did 286 million. So yeah, he's still one of those guys.
Okay.
What the hell?
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, sorry.
Right, but the added the good cast with the big director, it's a peanut butter and jelly basically for a film.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Can Can you kick up a peanut butter jelly sandwich up a notch to some like a little bit better of a sandwich?
Bananas. Add bananas to
A
it.
double-decker peanut
Where
butter
are you?
jelly sandwich?
No, okay, skip the peanut butter
Put a
part.
slice
Just,
of toast in the middle.
shut up. Just make a better sandwich, damn it.
Okay.
It's Christopher Nolan.
Okay.
You're gonna serve peanut butter and jelly to Christopher Nolan?
Nah.
I would never.
Peanut butter and jelly is like a McG movie.
Oh, Charlie's Angels. Wonderful. No.
Let's give Christopher Nolan a pub sub, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yep. Agreed.
It's the pub sub.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, with the cast, with the director, everything, and then it's a sci-fi film.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you really, I've long ago trusted that any movie that he's done, it's just gonna be good. You
Yeah.
know. I will say though that in the trailer, I like you said, it's kind of. It doesn't matter what is going on. I'm still gonna go see it,
Right.
but I have no idea what
Yeah.
the fuck.
I mean, I'm sure we'll get another probably couple of trailers that are gonna have more plot points, and
Yeah.
you're gonna get a better gist. But I still, like Dave was saying too, the fact that you didn't see much of what Inception was really all about until you saw the movie was part of its strength. Because if they showed all their cards before the movie came out, it wouldn't have been as surprising of a movie.
But let me ask you this though: if it wasn't a Christopher Nolan film, would that trailer have been enough to pique your interest?
Depends who directed it.
Really?
Yes.
You know, that's actually a really good point, because I don't think it would have, honestly.
Me neither.
Given the lack of sort of real points of what this thing is going to be about. It seems really vague.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sci-fi movie, but you don't really see a whole lot, especially as far as the space travel and that element and stuff. You see mostly the on Earth stuff. So without that, we're going mostly, I feel, on the faith of Chris Nolan. It gets backed up by the actors that are there too, and you know, it's a good trailer. It was exciting, had a good score and stuff like that. But
Well, yeah, I mean, you're pretty much just saying, like, if this movie wasn't the movie it's gonna be, would you still go see a movie if it was different?
Well, not necessarily. Just going off the strength of
Nolan's name?
no. Well, just off the strength of what you saw, as opposed to like who's involved.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
well, because we make assumptions based on who is making the movie.
Right.
We know what he's done in the past. This doesn't seem like a very far departure from what he's done in the past.
I want Christopher
So-
Nolan to take horrible actors, cast them, and make a great movie.
He could.
I want like him to cast like Tyler Perry and Kevin Hart. Like Tyler Perry's She Got Game 7, directed by Christopher Nolan.
The threequel.
I think that goes for a lot of trailers that have come out. They have to kind of strike a balance between not giving away too much, but also giving people enough that gets them interested. That's always been the problem with trailers, because some trailers, they give you the whole fucking movie.
It's a double-edged sword, because you want the audience to be able to have an idea of why they should be excited about this thing, but at the same time you don't want to unveil too much where they don't feel like they need to see the movie to begin with.
That's why
But how weak of a movie is able to be shown in 2 minutes, you know? Like, how weak is your movie if every set piece can be shown in 2 minutes, and then once I see it, it's like, well, that was in the trailer.
It's
I'm bored
tricky.
now.
For some movies it's tricky, because there are certain films that in a trailer you usually want a lot of, you know, explosions and excitement and big emotional moments.
I hate trailers.
Yeah, in some
I hate trailers because it's such
condensed film.
No, it's not condensed film. It's just so much. It's just propaganda to get you hyped up for the movie.
That's exactly what it is.
And you have no idea what it's about.
Well, it's
when-
advertising. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's just fast cuts, explosions,
No, but
yelling.
propaganda
Get to
is
the
perfect
chopper!
word for it.
Get down, Mr. President! Oh,
a-
so the situation's compromised, and
Yeah,
like
right.
you don't know what the hell they're talking about or what situation is compromised. Who's the president? Why are they trying to kill him?
Well, propaganda is just a bad word for advertising, so it makes
Yeah.
sense.
But
It panders very much to just a brainless. Please stimulate my
Right.
vision, and you know.
Yeah, but I mean,
get me visually excited.
Think about it though. If you were to see a trailer that looked like Pride and Prejudice when you wanted an action movie, that's not gonna, you know, get you to see that movie. You need to see the action and how big these set pieces are and how good the graphics look and
right.
you know what actors are in this. That's how they sell the movies to you.
I think my point in bringing up this trailer was not just the fact that I'm excited to see this film, but the fact that, in all honesty, I don't think it's that great of a trailer.
Mm.
And the only thing that got me excited was the fact that Christopher Nolan's directing it, Matthew McConaughey is in it, and Michael Caine's in it.
Right.
Like, that's what got me excited. But as the trailer itself, I don't think it was that good.
Yeah.
That was really, I think, is my point
That
of
was your
bringing
point.
it up.
Okay.
Was I didn't think it was a great trailer. Like when I heard Interstellar, I was thinking, first of all, my first assumption was the movie was going to be mostly based in space.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was like full on sci-fi, not rooted in, because from what you can get from the trailer, there's food
Shortage.
scare, yeah,
Right.
and they go into other planets to see if they can populate them or try to make food there, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Colonize.
yeah. Thank you.
Colonizer.
That's the basic, very basic. Obviously, it's a Christopher Nolan movie, so that's the nugget of what you're gonna get from the film. That's all you get from it. But,
I mean, when I saw it, I'm just like, okay, I'm putting all my faith in Christopher Nolan,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
and pretty much just like, all right, I know there's more to this movie, and
Right.
right, but see that's what brings me back to my original point is, if I'm blanking on directors' names, but if some average director was directing it, would you be excited about the trailer?
Zack Snyder.
No, because even that would garner interest, though.
true.
That would be
sounds
enough.
familiar.
That would be
No,
enough.
actually, if it was Zack Snyder's movie, I wouldn't be excited about it because it's Zack
I
Snyder.
wouldn't be excited. That's a strong word, but I would be interested.
Yeah.
I would.
Would you be Interstellar arrested?
No.
Give it to me.
Ooh.
Getting
Shut up. What was your joke that you made earlier that everybody ignored?
I don't know. Let's forget about it. Moving on. But it's funny you say that too about having that faith in Chris Nolan. Is that there's actually a good group of people that don't like his movies.
Well, yeah. There's
Frankly.
always that. You know what? I have a story about that. Have you guys ever gone on okplayer.com?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a rap. Well, it's more like rap, neo soul. The roots. Questlove made it with a couple of people. It was like an underground thing. It kind of blew up for like underground hip hop, and now the message boards are like really tastemakers in hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
They're like ahead of everything and blah blah blah. Anyway,
Their Facebook's pretty good. I follow them on there.
the first time I had heard about them was from Talib Kweli. He had a line on Kanye West's album. He says, "Always got something to say, like an okay player hater." This is what he's referring to.
That's right.
So that was like 15 years ago. So I go on the website and they're trashing Jay-Z, and that was the first time that I ever heard anybody like trash him this bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's not right. That can't be true. Like, how can you? And then they were doing the same thing for Nas. So people were like, the people who were trashing Jay-Z, they were saying Nas is the greatest of all time. And then the other side of the argument was obviously Jay-Z's the best, Nas is trash. I'm like, no. You can't say these two guys are bad at this. Like, it was the first time that I heard like such a polarizing opinion.
Right.
So from that day forward, like, I'm never surprised by when I think something is like perfect masterpiece that there is another human being who goes, that's the worst thing I've ever seen before. Because that was the first time that something that I thought was a consensus feeling, Jay-Z and Nas are two of the best ever. I thought that was a consensus. There's no arguing that. I was young. I was really young. So I was like 9, 10 years old.
20,
So
whatever.
20, 21.
Jesus Christ.
That was a long time ago.
Make this like sound like it changed your life.
It kind of did. I'll be honest. It kind of did. The first
It's-
time you hear somebody say something you thought was perfect is
Right.
actually shit. It's terrible. Why? How could you like that? This was before, message boards were huge and before, internet was big and everybody had a polarizing opinion and everyone had something to say on message boards and comment sections and stuff. This was the first time that somebody had said, what you like is horrible.
Right.
Don't like that ever again because you're stupid. That was the first time I've ever seen that. So after that, I was never surprised by when somebody says that. So when I say Tarantino's my favorite director and other people say he's one of the worst directors of all time, I go, well, I get that. I get why you say that.
Right.
Because
It's not really surprising to you.
Right. You can't. What are you going to argue with people who say stuff like that?
No.
No, they're not.
No, senor.
I don't think so. I mean, that's true though. It's really surprising whenever you have a hero or something that you think is the best thing, period, no matter what, and then you find out somebody hates its guts.
Yeah. So yeah, to hear that people, that there's a consensus of people who hate Christopher Nolan's films, that's not surprising.
Yeah.
There's always that polarizing. It doesn't really make sense to me, but I get it. You know.
I understand a lot of their issues with his movies though, because a lot of his characters are cold and they don't seem human.
Who are we talking about?
Chris Nolan's characters. They kind of just move the plot along.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You know,
I
they
can
don't
see
seem
that.
human. There's not a heart to those characters really. So
Yeah, I can see that.
I get it, but it doesn't keep me from loving those movies too.
Right.
So
What are all of Nolan's movies?
Insomnia,
Insomnia.
Memento,
Uh-huh.
Inception, Interstellar coming out, Dark Knight trilogy,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's it.
Now we're missing the one before Memento. That was his indie one.
Oh,
And then I'm pretty sure we're missing something else. So
No, but like a lot of his character, like I don't understand why people would say that when his characters he's directing are supposed to be like that. Like
Yeah.
in Memento, he can't remember anything. He's of course he's not gonna have very human characteristics because he's trying to piece his past back together.
Following, that was the one before Memento,
And in Inception, they're serious business.
and then the Prestige.
Prestige. That was the one I
That was-
forgot.
That was
I
the
haven't
one
seen
that
The
I was
Prestige.
thinking.
What? Really?
Yeah.
That's a
Buddy.
good movie.
Buddy,
David Bowie's in it.
buddy, you should see it.
Okay.
It's got Michael Caine in it,
Michael Caine.
Hugh Jackman,
Hugh Jackman. Yeah.
and then Christian Bale.
They're magicians.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, they are.
It's so good.
Illusionists, if you will, but not that movie.
Because they came out
Don't
like
pick-
At the same
Don't
no,
time.
no,
confuse
but that
it
was
with
the
that,
point.
then.
Like they came out like a year apart.
Right.
It was like White House Down and fucking that other movie where
Independence Day?
no.
Oh,
Close
No.
enough.
close enough.
Fuck, what is that movie called?
I know
Olympus
it-
Has Fallen.
Olympus Has
Jesus,
Fallen,
come on,
right.
guys.
What?
Keep up with the movies that come out now that we don't go and see.
We don't watch the bad movies like you do, Marco.
You never know. You can
Yeah.
find gems in these movies, man.
No.
You don't know that.
Find poop in those movies.
Well, enjoyable poop.
Mm.
Everyone enjoys a good poop. Anyway,
Everybody poops.
we're gonna table that one also, and kind of wait. You know, obviously we're gonna go and see it.
Oh yeah.
We're all fans of Christopher Nolan, so that's that. And
Okay.
pick it back up later. Probably after we see it, we'll update the podcast.
When's that coming out? Is it like
That is an excellent question.
Summer or
We did
something
not
like that?
pay attention to the end of the trailer.
that's a problem?
The thing said 1 year from now.
Did it?
That
Did
was
it?
a teaser one though. I don't know when that came out. So
Yeah,
it's probably less
that's
than a
true.
year.
Okay.
Yeah, less than a year. So at some point.
Yep. Expert journalism on this podcast.
Yep. There you go.
Okay.
So that's that. Adam.
Yeah. So, my topic kind of sort of fits within our topic spectrums because it has to do kind of with music.
Okay.
Because a generally well-respected music reviewer, online internet personality, his name is D.Respect. I know you know him, Marco, because I showed him to you.
Is this doofus with the hair?
No,
No.
that's Anthony Fantano, and he shaved his head.
After much internet backlash.
Yeah.
That was the first thing that my brother said. He's like, what the fuck is up with his head?
What's wrong with his hair? Yeah. Now he fixed that. But anyway, I follow D.Respect on Facebook, and he sometimes puts up, his reviews, his YouTube, because he's mostly on YouTube. He does all of his reviews on YouTube. He's not really specifically a reviewer, I should say, but more of just a, commentarian, I suppose.
Is that a word?
I just made it up.
Now it is.
Are we commentarians?
A commentator.
There you go.
A commentator.
Wow.
No, we're going with commentarian.
That sounds fancier, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
It sounds better.
One
It sounds like we
beer.
went to school to talk.
1 beer in.
We're
One beer in, and we're commentarians.
We're commentarians instantly. Anyway, my point was he's pretty well respected. I like his opinions on a lot of things. So I follow him on Facebook. He puts up his updates and stuff like that. So I was watching one of his videos, and he introduces it by saying, "What's up, faggots?" Like something like that, just completely out of the blue. And I was like, whoa. Like it took me off guard because he's an internet personality, but he's still an entertainer. You don't usually hear that from entertainers,
Yeah.
especially nowadays. So when I heard that, I was kind of off put by it, but I watched the video and it was good.
And then he made no reference to him opening the video like that?
No, that was it. And then I ended up seeing on his Facebook page, I guess somebody else caught that too and was, kind of felt the same way. And they said, could have done without the faggot comment, but good video. And so he responded to them by saying, the faggot comment is a love tap, dude. You can get hip-hop news anywhere on the net. This is just me delivering it in my own way. It's part of who I am, and it's my humor. Don't take it personal. I'm talking to you the way I would to my friends. Thanks for watching. Okay. So when I saw that, I was like, that's kind of a bullshit excuse for doing that.
Yeah.
Like, you're still talking to the public, which some of them are homosexual, and you could have lost a good amount of your subscribers that way, or alienated them at least and made them feel bad.
Yeah.
So I ended up writing a response to him, and I said, I know it's used casually in the hip-hop community, but gay folks don't take the word faggot lightly. You may have alienated some of your subscribers with that love tap. And so, of course, since it's the internet, everything underneath it was, tell them to stop being such a faggot. And, like, just that's basically it. Of
course.
The rest of people. And then eventually somebody ended up agreeing.
You stop being such a faggot, or him?
No, the guy that was originally saying that he didn't like that he said that. But eventually a couple of other people agree with me and, you know, said that that's not a cool thing to say, basically. And then somebody put the mention that words only are offensive if you find them offensive.
Words
Stop finding them offensive, and they'll stop being offensive, basically.
That's stupid.
Right.
Yeah, just, you know, stop
caring,
stop being
man.
offended. You know, well, yeah, that's easy, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So apparently, D-Respect himself liked that guy's comment.
Of course he did, because that's an easy cop-out.
That's
Don't
what
be
I'm saying.
offended when I say something offensive.
Right.
What?
But then somebody else later on ended up saying, I want you to tell that to somebody, to a black guy when you call him the N-word.
Yeah, exactly.
And give that excuse as he punches you in the face.
Don't be offended I called you the N-word.
Faggot.
Right, exactly.
You faggot.
So my question to you is calling somebody a faggot on the same level of the N-word? Is that nowadays in the same spectrum of hate that you shouldn't put out there, especially if you're an entertainer? Because obviously to me, I was offended by it. I'm not gay, and I was still offended by it.
I don't think it's on the same level.
Okay.
I do definitely think it's up there, especially someone in his position should definitely have. I mean, we have more care than that.
I don't know who he is, so I don't. Like, you guys saying someone in his position.
All right, but you know that there's a community of YouTubers who garner thousands of
subscribers
views, and
views.
their YouTubes are monetized, so they're making money off of companies and the people who are viewing them, and you know they're getting on a level. YouTube has commercials on TV now, getting people to subscribe. That chick who cooks and she does the video game stuff. I saw her commercial.
Yeah.
Fell in love all over again. But so yeah, he is on a higher level than most people as far as he puts a YouTube video out giving his opinion, and it gets 50, 60, sometimes hundreds of thousands of views depending on like the popularity of the post. So he is in a position where he needs to have more tact in the things that he says, and what he says. You don't think so?
I agree.
I think every person
disagree.
should.
I agree and disagree, but at the same point, why would you? There's a valid point to it, but at the same time, it's not very valid.
Whose point?
His point.
Whose? D dots?
D dot respect. That if something, you give a word the power of it, you give the word power to be offensive. So, a while ago I went to a forum, and it was on the origin of words, and it turned into pretty much just like a gay rights lecture, and it was pretty much saying like, okay, well, you guys say gay now, like gay means stupid, and it's hurtful to the gay community because that you're relating an entire lifestyle to being stupid.
Well, it's just like people calling retarded people retards in a sense of being stupid as opposed to having a mental disability.
Right, but the thing I found contradicting about that is that they went into like the origin of words, and through that they proved that words in society can change meaning, where gay it originally meant happy and belated,
Right.
which then switched to people being happy and belated, being flamboyant, were
Elated. Elated, not belated.
Elated. Sorry, yeah, I always get those two words mixed up. Thank you. Happy and elated became, and flamboyant became the new word for homosexual. So
Right.
just in that movement itself shows that the word can switch to, a different meaning.
Right.
Why, they are holding other people responsible to not be ignorant to that and know, like, even though this word changed meaning once, it can't change meaning twice. And you're saying gay as in it's stupid, but we see gay as homosexual, even though gay means happy and elated. It's contradicting when you say things like that.
Well,
so just by saying that, faggot holds the same strength as any other offensive word that you give it. Where if I call you a faggot or you a faggot, I'm not calling you guys homosexuals. The Louis C.K. skit, you know what I'm talking about. You don't call someone a faggot because they're gay. You call someone a faggot because they're acting like a faggot. You can't just describe it.
Yeah.
That's all well and good, but at the same time, if you call somebody, let's say faggot. If you call somebody a faggot, that's a word that's been used as a derogatory term for people for years and years and decades. And it's been used in a hateful manner that has hurt people, and it continues to hurt people. Why would you not be considerate enough to not use that word especially on a public pedestal?
We're looking at him as an intelligent person too. We're giving him that level of respect that he is an intelligent person and he uses words deliberately. He's not a dumb guy. If you watch his videos, every word he chooses is chosen for that specific reason. So to say something like that's why I asked if he had referenced it later on in the video, because he's the kind of guy who doesn't just say stuff like that.
I mean, if you're getting paid off of this, you have sponsors, and sponsors are supporting you and they're giving you money, and they can pretty much go, all right, well, you need to, not say things like that. And if you drop something like that, knowing, you have sponsors and you think there's going to be no repercussions, then yeah, you aren't as intelligent as we may be giving you the credit to be.
I think it's as simple as how he responded. I didn't, it's just how we used to talk, man. And it's like, that's all well and good, but that's how we used to talk. There's words like that. Their strength is in the intent, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So if I call you a spick, I could be saying it jokingly, but if a stranger called you that in a way that, if you cut him off and he calls you a spick, you obviously know he's trying to get at you, right?
Right, yeah.
So it's all in the intent. Obviously, he didn't intend to offend anybody,
right.
But there also is that level of, when do we move past stuff like this? He says something like that and it causes a barrage of, that's insensitive, or you guys are being too sensitive.
It was mostly a you guys are being too sensitive thing.
Right.
With me and maybe two other people that agreed that it was uncalled for him to say something like that on his channel,
I mean, it's just, I feel like that kind of, just saying stuff like that, even if he didn't mean it in any way.
You said that he commented and said he said it as a form of endearment, as saying it out loud sounds twisted, but he said that's how I talk to my friends,
right?
And we just admitted we call each other that shit all the time,
Yeah, but we also agreed on this show, even though we're not being paid for anything, and even considering I don't know his life, he may not be getting paid for his videos,
right?
But even if he is, that's besides the point. He's being insensitive to people that may like to listen to his stuff, that may be alienated by that.
What were you about to say is we agreed, and we're not on that level, but we agreed to not say inflammatory things like that just to say them.
Because we know it's hurtful to other people.
Right.
Like, we get that that's hurtful. Even though we may, in conversation, jokingly say that to each other because we know it doesn't hurt each other.
Right.
It's completely hurtful to an entire population of people.
Right.
It's
like, how many times are we gonna have to fucking deal with people who are in the public forum say stuff like this? It's just like, I thought people on that level were smart. Obviously they're not, because this happens all the time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe I'm naive in assuming that once you get to that level, you go, all right, there's certain things that you just don't say because you don't want to be that person. You don't want to be seen as that person. You just don't want to.
It's like, as soon as you, that's just something that should be, natural. Like, unfortunately, in a professional atmosphere, you can't be yourself 100% if you drop, curse words all the times and offensive shit. There's a level, a standard of things that you can't talk about, you know,
Right.
like things you can't say, and that's just being a professional in yourself and holding
That's
yourself up to your
what
own
it is.
standards.
That's exactly what it is. It's professionalism,
Right.
just through and through, and that shows a lack of professionalism because he knows that he's trying to reach a wide audience, is he not? Like that's why you put stuff on YouTube. You're trying to reach an audience,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
So why lower yourself? And then to defend himself by going, "That man, that's just how we talk, man." It's like it's 2014. Like that's not a good
Right.
excuse anymore. That's just how I used to, you know. Like people are not gonna give you the benefit of the doubt anymore when stuff like that occurs.
Yeah.
But they did.
But this is hip hop culture also.
Yeah.
So if he had said that, if let's say he was like cracking millions of views.
Yeah, you're right. Like this is like I just realized my mindset on that when you defended it. I was just like, oh, well, why do you even speak up? That's kind of, you know, like a bitch thing to do. But then at the same time, you're just doing, you know, you're just saying the right fucking thing.
All right.
We should be more involved in that, especially as
Maybe
somebody.
you are.
Well, I mean, specifically, you know, if you want to say that, go for it. It's his channel. He has every right to do whatever he wants to do. I was just saying,
Yeah.
the reason why some people may have been offended by that is because it's offensive. That's an offensive word to a lot of people. He may not have realized that when he said it, because I know, you know, when we were in high school, we used to drop that all the time. Call each other faggots all the time and not think anything about it. Call things gay when they're stupid. You know, call things retarded. I still catch myself doing that in day out conversation, but we're getting to an age, especially an age and a time and place where that's no longer going to be acceptable in public culture.
Right.
You know,
His use of that word, him starting the video off doesn't bother me as much as getting caught using it and then his defense of it. And then who he decided to side with once obviously he read all of the comments because he had to get deep to find the one that he wanted to like to say, I agree with this person. All of the rest of y'all are faggots. I agree with this person. And I mean, he had to have gone through there and read all of that and seen like, I like this side. I like where this person is going. That's what bothers me more than him using that word is once people bring it to his attention, he's still on the defensive. Like, no, I am not wrong. You're just being too sensitive. I mean, at what point are people not being sensitive and are people just going, there's a certain right and wrong, you know?
yeah. I'd say that disappointed me more than him using it in the first place.
Yeah, because it's cowardly. You're not owning up to it, and
Exactly.
you're finding a crappy excuse to excuse your behavior.
Right.
What is
Like,
the-
you guys stop being so, don't be so offended. It's like, no, you use that. You know what kind of inflammatory language that you're using. Own up to it at least.
Yeah.
Go, you know what? I know what I said, and I don't regret it. But don't try to put it back on us like we're being too sensitive.
Right.
You know? Like I said, obviously the intent wasn't there. He wasn't trying to offend people,
Right.
but
Right,
he
but I mean,
did.
the right thing to say would have been like, "Sorry, didn't mean to offend anybody. In the future, I'll refrain from using that kind
Right.
of language," or something
and it's a
like
simple
that.
thing too. It's not like it's something that you need to hold on to. Like, why would anybody want to use that word anyway? You know, I get it that it's something that it's hard for me to shake. I don't know about you guys, but it's hard for me to shake it just because, like you said, we grew up using it.
Right.
So it's hard to shake it from my everyday language. But to be more professional, it is something that we have to be conscious of. Why would you want to hold on to saying something like that? You know, why hold so dearly to like that and the N word and other words? It's like, why are they so important that, like with black people, for instance, we argue with like, no, it's our word.
We.
Yeah, we. The quarter of me says, the N word is our word. You can't use it. Why? Why hold so dear to something like that?
Well, and that's sort of the second part of this question that I wanted to dig in with you guys a little bit, which was, you say that it's not the same thing, right? It's not on the same level as
I don't
the
think it's
N-word.
on the same level, no.
No,
I think
no,
it's up
there's-
there, but it's not on the same level.
I mean, I think we may just be playing down faggot
What do you mean?
from its severity because the origins of the word, where it came from,
People were murdered in cold blood.
burned with the other sticks because
Right.
they weren't worthy of being on a stake to burn. They were thrown with the other faggots.
I mean, even flash forward way past that, and gay people were being lynched for being gay and being called faggot while that was happening. You know,
Well, he
like
just
it's
meant like the word itself.
the origin of the word.
Right. And I mean, like, I think the only reason I'm gonna get my shit chewed out for this, probably, that we are so sensitive to the N-word and not so much to the word faggot is well, listen to it right now. I didn't even say the N-word. I said the N-word.
Yeah.
To the word nigger and faggot is because of the history that's been, you know, shoved down our throats for our entire childhood of that word. Faggot is just like, oh, well, you know, it's just a guy on roller skates with short shorts.
Well, I mean, that goes back to just growing up saying the word. I mean, you didn't grow up, I mean, unless your family was racist, you didn't grow up, you know, dropping the N-bomb on every black person you saw, but every
Right.
gay person you saw, yeah, they got called
It was more
faggot.
socially acceptable.
Right,
you know,
exactly.
in the time that we were growing up.
Because you don't have
But
to be.
I don't think...
You don't have to be black to be gay. You don't have to be white to be gay. You could be
Right.
anything and be gay.
Which was another point too, is that when you call somebody a faggot, it's something that has been disputed for a long time of whether people choose to be gay or not. There's no dispute as far as
That's a stupid
you're
question.
born black, right? You're born black, you're born white,
Usually.
you're born what you are. You have no input on that. So there's no question in that. Some people still believe that you choose to be gay. Mm-hmm. And that choice makes it okay for us to make fun of you,
Right.
to beat you, you know, to persecute you. Mm. So that's why I think that it has been more socially acceptable in that way.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's when there was less understanding, but now we're coming, you know, to we found the gay gene, remember?
Yeah.
Like, there's scientific proof of you were born gay, and that's bullshit. It's just the way you were born or whatever.
That's how your brain works.
Nature
Right.
versus nurture.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just like there was this guy. I overheard him arguing. He was just on a Porsche. I was with a friend and we were all drinking, and he's talking about gay guys, and he's like, "Oh man, that's bullshit. They all choose to be gay." Blah blah. I had that argument, and I went, "Oh, well, do you choose to like women?" And he goes, "Oh man, no, yeah, of course I like women. I think I choose. You think I'm gonna choose?" And like he completely discredited his point and then just reinforced mine,
Right.
and he had no idea what he just did. And it's just that kind of ignorant thinking that that's what we're never gonna get beyond.
Right, and
Right.
it's really sort of soul crushing for me to see that sort of thinking is really deeply rooted in the religious Hispanic and Black community.
Yeah.
You know, that mind state of it's unnatural, it's disgusting, it's gross. You know, we just had a birthday at my house. We had a little bit of a cookout and stuff like that, and they were talking about the
Guess who wasn't invited?
yeah, not you guys. It was a family thing.
Oh, damn, man. That hurts too. Jesus
I meant to
Christ.
say it like that too. But no, my point was
Hurts, man.
we were having
Words
a
hurt, Adam.
I know.
Obviously.
That's the whole point of this conversation. This PSA.
Sorry, guys. So they were talking about the football player, the gay
Michael
football
Sam.
player, Michael Sam. That my brother was saying that as soon as he got drafted, they were showing it on ESPN, and he made out with his boyfriend.
Yeah.
And I watched the video, and he pecks him, and it's not a big deal. But he made it seem like they were just going at it for
Tongue down each other's throat.
zooming in.
There's a little more than a peck, but that doesn't matter though.
Right.
That's the kind of thing that people are, I've heard people say that too, like, oh, I'm just making out, and it's like, I mean, that kind of thing shouldn't even,
Well, when you tell a story, you want to make it interesting, so you hype it up.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah,
amped it up
definitely.
completely. It
Yeah.
sounded like the beginning of gay porn or something, So
Yeah, there was I've heard a lot of people talk about, how they feel about that, because that was a very polarizing
Yeah.
thing, and I don't know, obviously we're not past that conversation. That's the first and foremost, with how many people came out and were saying like it was disgusting and blah blah blah, like I don't want to see that on TV. But if it was two chicks, that's the other thing that gets me,
the double standard.
especially with religious people. Deeply religious people will tell you, gay man on man, oh, that's sodomy and that's this, that, and the third. But a woman on woman is like, it's not so bad. I mean, they gotta experiment and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I've heard deeply religious people say this.
Seriously?
No lie. That's that double standard. It really makes me mad. Like, if you gotta have a hard line on this. If you're
Right.
against gay people, then be against
Go
gay
all the
people.
way. Yeah.
But don't tell me that the sexy shit is awesome.
I'm against
You
gay
know?
dudes.
Just the gay
Specifically.
dudes. Like, yeah, that's not right.
Yeah.
I mean, all of it is not right. And to speak on the Michael Sam thing, like, at first it was kind of like this, because what my brother and dad were talking about.
Is he good at the sport?
Well, that was the one thing, because he is good at the sport. He was Defensive Player of the Year in college, so he is good. He deserved to be drafted. What my dad and my brother were talking about was like the merits of, the importance of it, period. Like, on the one hand, it was like, should we even care that, not just that he's gay, but like, okay, he got drafted and he made out with a guy. It's like, I don't want to see that on my TV,
That's the argument.
Right. But it just bothers me, because if he made out with some model, everybody would be cheering him on.
Yeah.
Obviously.
But that's not gross, Marco.
Right. That's how you can tell we're still not past it, and I don't think we're ever going to get past it. And
not this generation.
My brother was wondering, like, why is it important that he was the first openly gay player in the NFL? And I think that is the reason why it's important. Obviously, you want to get to a point where we don't even have to have this conversation. There's just, he's gay, but he plays football. Whatever. That has nothing to do with his life.
Right.
His
the
story.
headline will read "Guy gets drafted" instead
Right,
of "Gay
exactly.
guy gets
It'll
drafted."
just be like, whoever was worthy of that draft position was worthy of that draft position. It doesn't matter. Like, but we're not past that yet.
Yeah.
And the way we get past that is to celebrate this and then move on. You have to acknowledge it at least. People. Okay, hear me out, because people say things like, the only way we're going to get past race is to stop talking about it. That's not how you get past race. What you do is you accept people's differences and you get past them. That's how you get past race. You don't say, you're not black, you're not Spanish, you're not white, we're all just people, man. Because that's not true. There are black people, there are white people, there are Hispanic people. There's cultural differences. These things make us people. They make us human beings. You have to acknowledge those things and be accepting of those things and then move forward. You can't just ignore them. You can't just ignore those things.
I don't think they mean to ignore it.
That's what people say. You have to I think ignore
they mean
it, act like it doesn't exist, and just be all one people.
I think they mean for it that we shouldn't be treating these as, special cases. We just need to, guy gets drafted, and that's it. So what if he's gay? We just accept it and move on. That's what they mean. Like, we need to stop talking about it.
Historically,
because
it is
by
important.
talking about it, we're making it an issue. It needs to not be an issue.
Because it's been an issue for the last 50, 60 years. So when something like this happens, it is historic. Whether people want to acknowledge it or not, it is a historical thing. Just because people want to say, like, we need to stop talking about it, yeah, I agree. We do. It has to. We don't need to. But what I'm saying is, we don't need to stop talking about it to just sweep it under the rug. It needs to be something that is naturally
addressed,
not important anymore, because he's just a person playing football.
So you think it would have been like a worse story if like they just didn't say anything about that at all? Just if it was never brought up, would you care about what's his name? What's his name?
Michael Sam.
Michael Sam. Would you care about Michael Sam being drafted if they didn't mention?
I would because he's a talented guy, and I pay attention to that kind of stuff.
People outside of sports wouldn't though.
They
Not
they
at
wouldn't
all.
have, because of course not, because I forgot what position he got drafted, but he wasn't in the first round. It wasn't like a he wasn't like a top 3 pick like we were talking about Blake Bortles, but he wasn't that. So he was just a great defensive player, but just a defensive player. It's not like it was a huge thing. So no, if he wasn't gay, nobody would probably even know who he was.
Exactly.
Probably. Unless you paid attention to sports.
No, that's exactly what I mean though. Like
So no, I agree with that. But if he comes out of the closet, he feels that he needs to, be comfortable in his sexuality and who he is as a person. Like, people, because, there's still a community of people who are against that, who think he's evil and think he doesn't deserve to make millions of dollars doing the sport that he loves because he is gay, just for that certain reason. And for those people, that's why he needs to come out and be strong in his sexuality and say, you have to accept this and move forward. But they won't be able to if we just ignore it and act like it never happens, and then 20 years after he retires, he goes, yeah, I was gay that whole time. It wouldn't matter then.
Right.
You don't make changes by just ignoring these things. You make changes by confronting them, accepting them, and moving forward. You can't do anything if you just act like it doesn't exist.
Well, a lot of conservative people are saying that him making such a strong statement in that was just a plan for the liberal media to shove gayness down your throat.
They're always fucking. I can't fucking stand
That's
that shit.
what they've been
I will
saying.
say this for the record. I was proud of Michael Sam for doing all this until I heard, well, okay, today he canceled it. But before, he had an Oprah Winfrey documentary, and, like, the fucking cameras were following him this whole time. And it was like, dude, if you want to be the first openly gay player, that's one thing. But now that you've been drafted, it's time to focus on football. He hasn't even made the team yet. He was a rookie who got drafted. He could still be cut. So you need to work your ass off to get on the team. You don't need Oprah following you around, and you don't need cameras following you around, and you don't need documentaries made about you. That makes this look forced. And that's what's disappointing about it. I was proud of the guy for doing it, but now I'm like, come on, man.
Right.
You're making people who stuck their neck out for you in these kind of arguments look stupid.
You can't turn it into a show.
Right.
You know? It's,
But he canceled the documentary. But I feel like still... I think
The intent
it's a
was
little,
there, though.
Right,
That's-
exactly. I feel like it's a little too late now.
Yeah.
I'm still
a
disappointed.
little disappointed in that.
Wanted to ride that fame train just a little bit more.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
really, yeah. And that's what, going back to him even coming out and making a big deal about it and kissing his boyfriend when he got drafted, all that stuff looks forced now because him trying to keep the 15 minutes going.
Right. It was all planned.
And that's what's
kinda,
disappointing about it. But the initial act is something that needs to be celebrated and then move forward. You need to accept it and move past it. That's what I feel like the only way to make change is to accept these things and move forward with them.
Yeah.
But you don't make change by acting like it doesn't
Just
happen.
ignoring it.
You know, because it does happen. It's still there. Even if you want to act like he's not the first openly gay player in the history of the sport, he is. You can act like he's not, but he is. That's something historic. And until we can move past it, really move past it, and not just ignore it, but to really accept it and move past it, that is still always going to be a historical thing. You know?
Yeah.
So that's my point.
Cool. Do you feel some kind of way?
I mean, I kind of do.
You don't say.
I mean, I've been,
How do you really feel, though, Marco?
I've been holding it in for a little while, but
One more thing, though.
okay.
I saw this, and I want to know how you guys feel about it. On that same story, one of my Facebook friends, he's a very conservative guy, he draws parallels between the people that had the backlash against him that are in the NFL right now that they got fined, right?
Oh yeah, the people who were like tweeting about
It's
about
gross.
it and,
You know,
right.
people did that in the NFL and got fined for it. So he's wondering why the same didn't happen for when Tebow was getting so much crap for being so religious.
Oh, okay. Well, with that, first you need to find specific examples with people insulting his religion. I don't remember ever seeing anybody insult him for being Christian. They insulted him for being the kind of guy who kind of shoved his Christianity down our throats. But nobody ever said...
Wait, with that point, think about that. What if somebody was in the NFL, said something about Sam, right?
Michael Sam
Shoving
his
down, the homosexuality as opposed to...
I don't think that person would get fined. I think the people who did get fined were saying, like, the one guy I know who got fined was a corner. I forgot his name, and he plays for Miami, which is not a good place to be insulting people right now. You need to...
No.
But he said it was gross. And
Right,
then-
I saw that, yeah.
But he never specifically said what he was talking about. People asked him, like, are you referring to the Michael Sam thing? And he was like, terrible, Kenny, terrible. And it was like, then he gets fined, and then he gets suspended. And, as much as passionate as I am about this issue, I really feel like they took that too far.
Yeah.
I mean, fine them and then suspend him. Like, you take away his livelihood because he doesn't agree with seeing a gay man on TV. Like, I don't know. That's the strange line that we walk
That is
nowadays.
a very weird line.
It
Like,
is.
we have to be accepting of everything. You can't have an opinion because
Right.
someone's going to get upset.
Right, and it is really hard because on the one hand, it's an opinion that I don't agree with, but it's also just his opinion.
Right.
Should they take money from him and stop him from doing what he loves because
Right, that's kind of
he doesn't.
it's borderline infringement of your first right.
You would
But,
think so,
I mean,
but
but
also the
you're signing
NFL
a
is
contract
right.
for the
Exactly, it's
NFL, you have
right.
to
It's a
play by
company
their
that you
rules.
work for, and you have to right. So they know that going in, and anytime these guys get fined for dropping the N-bomb or saying faggot or arguing with the refs or anything, I mean they know what they're getting into. They know that they're going to get fined for that. So he should have known that. Mm-hmm. But should that even be in place?
Yeah.
But
when you say that and then you go, well, when does it end?
Where do they draw the line on it? Like, yeah, I get what you're saying. Like they're not letting him really, be himself or speak his opinion. But then,
if you just let anybody say whatever the fuck they
where's it
want,
gonna stop?
You can't do that. You can't do that.
So it's a really strange line, and I do not envy the person who's in the position who has to dole out these punishments and be that guy, because it is a strange thing to have to do.
Going back to the Tebow thing, like Marco was saying, they weren't insulting his religion. They were just insulting him being that type of, he probably could have led like Joseph and the multicolored raincoat.
Right, exactly. Like right. It was more about how he handled his religion. And if people were like going after Michael Sam, for instance, like there have been people who have been critical of how he has handled this whole situation, like I was saying before with the documentary and everything like that. There's been people who have come out and have been critical of how he's handled it. So it's not like he doesn't have detractors, smart detractors, people who don't just call him the F word. They just, they actually have intelligent arguments against how he's handling this situation. And
the method of it, not what he is.
Right.
But how
so I don't think
doing
it's definitely not the same thing as the Tim Tebow thing because, first of all, Tim Tebow was for a while a nationwide phenomenon. People loved him. Mm-hmm. There was a sect of his detractors who were like, "Oh, it's too much now." But for a while, that dude could do no wrong. So let's not compare these. You can't. I don't think it's a good comparison. I don't think that was a good comparison. But conservatives usually they like to do that. They like to take anything and go, well, they're infringing on our rights and trying to take our guns, and it's like, what does guns have to do with homosexuality? I don't know.
It's football. There's no guns on there.
But
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I think that's a good place to wrap then.
I do think so. That's another thing that's probably ever evolving, and we could probably pick that up later on.
Yeah.
But as far as tonight, I think we had some good points, dropped some good stuff.
Unusually serious.
Well, I don't want to point any fingers, but it was kind of your topic.
Yeah, oops.
All right, so my name is Mr. Dupa.
I'm Obesius.
I'm Dave.
Catch us on the Instagrams and the Facebooks and the Twitters. Dupa Get Butt on Instagram and Mr. Dupa or Marco Dupa. Just Google me, whatever.
Yeah, you're like the only Marco Dupa in the United States.
Shows up.
Yeah, so just Google me and you'll find me everywhere.
Yep. I'm at Obesius and Adam Luis Rodriguez pretty much everywhere else.
I'm at Rome Arrow. I'm not going to spell it this time.
I always put it up on the video anyway.
It'll be there, so you'll have all the links. This was the One Beer and
Bye,
Podcast.
guys.
Thank you, guys.
Look at our WordPress.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Say please.
Please.